Hi, Miss Mallory here from the Quine and Street Project, bringing you drama class. Today we are going to be working on movement and blocking. We'll go more into that, but first of all, I want to check in with you and see how you're feeling. So if you have one word that could describe how you're feeling and then match that with a gesture that describes how you're feeling, go ahead and do that. So how are you today? Right. Well, today I am feeling excited. There you go. It's always important to check in and see how you're feeling. Okay, again, we are going to be working on movement and blocking, but first let's go ahead and review what we learned last time. So we went over voice and we went over storytelling. I did that silly expert and translator and mini scenes and storytelling, how to tell a compelling story using the different tools that you have. And then also, what is drama? What is drama? That's right, drama is telling a story. And what do we use to tell those stories? We have 3 different tools of an actor that we use to tell stories. What are they? That's right, they are body, your voice, and your imagination. So those are the 3 tools. We also learned ensemble, which means working together. Ensemble means working together. We also learned subtext. What is subtext? So subtext is the meaning behind or the meaning under the words. So it's important to understand what a character really means when they say different things, because someone can say, I'm fine, but it can mean different things. If I say, I'm fine, things aren't fine. If I say, I'm fine, maybe things are fine, but you don't know. But if I say, oh no, I'm fine, I might be actually fine. Right? So subtext is really important, understanding what is behind the words when you are delivering them. So before we move on and talk about movement and about blocking, let's go ahead and warm up. First off, I want you to reach above your heads. Act like there's candy in the ceiling. So reach your hands up above your head. You can even act like you're climbing a rope. Now, wiggle your fingers. Drop your fingers, drop your wrists, drop your elbows, and then drop your shoulders. Now, take a crayon. This is a crayon in my head. Put it on top of your head, like this, and draw some circles with your head, with that crayon, onto the ceiling. Draw 4 circles. Now do it the other way 4 times. Very slowly. Now, I want you to take that crayon, take it off of your head, break it in half, and stick each half on your shoulders. Here and one here. Now, draw circles on both sides of the room with the crayons on your shoulders. Let's do 4 backwards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now 4 forwards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just heard some bones cracking. Okay, now take these crayons, put them back together. Just put it away for now. Set it to the side. Now, I want you to give me a superhero chest. So what does a superhero chest look like? For me, a superhero chest is nice and big and proud and powerful. So let's do superhero chest. Now let's do a villain chest. Villain kind of just gets small and tiny and evil, right? Now let's go back to superhero chest. Big and proud and out, and then villain chest, and small, shrink. Now superhero chest again, Now villain chest. Superhero chest? Now villain chest. Oh, okay, good job. Now, I want you to create a ball of energy in between your hands like this. So clap your hands, knees your hands. Now clap them together and create a warm ball of energy until it becomes nice and warm. Okay, now wake up your body with this ball of energy. Start off with your head, back of your head, your face, your arms, shoulders. Let's go to your chest. Go like this. Ah. Now go to your belly and your back and your hips and your thighs. Now your legs and your calves, even to your feet. Okay. Now I want you to warm up your face. So make your face nice and big like this. Eyes big, mouth big. Now small. Big. Now small. 2 more times. Big. Now small. Big and small. Okay. Now we need to warm up our voices and our mouth. So first you're going to blow your lips out like a horse, but don't make any sound and don't make any vibrations with your mouth. You just go like this. Now you can play with sound and vibrating your lips. Play with some sound. Okay, now let's go ahead and warm up our voices and this tool here, our face, our body, our mouths. We're going to do this by going through the alphabet. So with every letter that you say, don't just say A. I want you to use your entire face to do the alphabet. So if I say A, it's A. So make sure to use your cheeks and your lips and your nose and your eyes to do the alphabet. We're going to start at the beginning. Ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. So hopefully your cheeks are all warmed up and loosened now. Now, let's get into some tongue twisters. I have a couple for you. If you know them on your own, you can do your own, but I'll start off with a couple. Unique, New York. You know you need unique New York. Now say it again with me. Unique, New York. You know you need unique New York. I say it a little bit faster. Unique New York. You know you need unique New York. Unique New York. Unique New York. You know you need unique New York. You know you need unique New York. Unique New York. Unique New York. You know you need unique New York. Now let's try this next one. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. You might know this one already. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. So Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Let's do it a little bit faster. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair, so Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair, so Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair, so Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? A little bit faster. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair, so Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? And one more. The big black bug bleeds blue-black blood, but the little black bug bleeds blue. The big black bug bleeds blue-black blood, but the little black bug bleeds blue. The big black bug bleeds blue-black blood, but the little black bug bleeds blue. A little bit faster. The big black bug bleeds blue-black blood, but the little black bug bleeds blue. Oh my gosh. Good job. Give yourselves a round of applause. Okay, now we are going to work on movement. So the way that you move on stage, the way that a character moves can really change a story. It's important to create physicality for the characters in the play and in the story. So let's go ahead and talk about different verbs, different action words, and what that might look like on stage, and how moving and creating movement with these action words could really make a difference. So first, let's brainstorm some active verbs, some moving words. So some that I could think of, if we were in class, what we would be doing is writing down all of the different words that we can think of on the board. So some action words that I can think of are kick, hit, run, play, drink, eat, hug, jump. Did I say run? I think I said run. Cook, talk, exercise, drive, learn, teach. What's another one? Punch, love, slap, cut. Those are all active verbs. And so what we would be doing is we would alternate these different words in an activity. We would do this. So for example, let's take one word. Hug. Hug is an active verb. So what we would do is we would explore what it sounds like or what it looks like to say that word plainly, and then what it would look like if we do it with movement. So let's start with that. If I say, I want to hug, do you believe me? Maybe. But what does it look like now if I say, I want a hug, and I extend my arms out and actually create movement with this? I want a hug. It's a little bit different, right? I want a hug. I want a hug. Okay. What's another one? I want to exercise. I want to exercise. Versus, I want to exercise. That's a little bit more believable, right? If I add movement to what I'm saying, it can really change what the character is saying. What's another one? If I'm saying, I want to kick you. Okay, great. Do I really? It doesn't really seem like I do. But if I want to say, and I'm like moving my legs, I want to kick you. It kind of seemed like I really wanted to kick you. So adding that movement can really make a difference. Now let's talk about something called the Le Bon movement activity. And this would be so much more fun if we were in class, but we're not. So I'm just going to explain it. So what we would do is we would all walk around freely. And so what I want you to do right now is to stand up from where you're sitting. I want you to walk around your room right now. Just walk how you normally walk. I don't know what pace that usually is in, but just walk around. Just walk. Okay, now walk around as yourselves. Don't add anything goofy. We want to know where your body is that day. Are you tired? Are you energetic? Are you just like not having it? Just walk around like yourself, like you normally would. Okay, now, and keep walking around the room. I know it sounds silly, but we do this in theater school and theater classes all the time. Just keep walking. Now, I want you to walk or move as if you are very heavy. Very heavy. Walk like you are heavy. What does that look like? What does that feel like to walk around like you're heavy? What happens to your head? What happens to your shoulders? What happens to your legs or your feet? Okay, now I want you to start walking around like you're normal again. Okay, now shake it off. Walk like normal. Now I want you to walk like you are light. Walk around the space like you are light. What does that feel like? How is your body different? How are your shoulders different when you're walking light? Where is your face facing? Are you facing the floor? Are you facing the ceiling? Is your head, anchored to your neck? Or does it feel a little bit more flowy and light? What happens to your feet? What happens to your legs? How are you walking differently when you are walking light? Okay, now walk normal again. Shake it off. Walk normal. Now, I want you to walk directly. Walk directly. Act like you have a place to go. Act like you are late to class. I want you to walk like you know where you're going. Okay, what happens to your body when you are walking directly? Okay, now shake it off and walk how you normally would. And once you are back to neutral, once you're back to normal, walk indirectly. Now walk around the room indirectly. Like you still know where you're going, but this time you're just going to take the long way there. Maybe you're taking the scenic route. Maybe you're looking at the flowers and the trees and the birds and noticing everything around you. Maybe you're not really running late this time. So walk around indirectly. What does that look like? Where's your focus at? Okay, now walk normal again. Okay, now you can stop walking. Okay, so some things to think about. Think about whether direct or indirect felt more like your regular walk. I imagine with direct, your head's like more forward, you're kind of like rushing. But if you're indirect, you're just kind of noticing things around you, just kind of taking your time. What about heavy versus light? What felt more similar to how you usually walk? Are you a heavy walker? Are you a light walker? Do you usually like walk with heavy feet? How are your shoulders usually when you walk? So let's think about the drum dream girl. How do you think that she would walk? In one part it says when she closed her eyes, she could hear her own imaginary music. So if you were someone who was obsessed with drums, obsessed with music, that's like all you thought about, how do you think that you would walk around the island? I would think kind of indirectly and light, right? So she's walking around and she kind of hears her own music and she's probably kind of walking around like this, just kind of like looking around at things and hearing the drums in her head. That's how I think. I think that she would walk like light and indirectly. So the way that a character walks can really change the dynamic of the characters and the people in the story. So if you are someone, I don't know if you've watched The Devil Wears Prada, But Miranda Priestley is a lady who knows what she wants and where she's going, but she also has a lot of people helping her, right? So I would imagine that she's kind of a lighter walker. She seems like a real fancy lady. So she wears like nice fancy clothes and stuff, and maybe she's afraid of getting them ruined. So I feel like she would walk like kind of lightly like this, but she's also direct. So she seems like she would have like an intense stare when she's walking, but she would walk kind of light, so light and direct. Or if you think of someone like, I don't know, who's another person in a story? If you think about, say, for example, Black Panther, how would Black Panther walk around? I imagine he would be not quite light or heavy in his step. I think that he would be kind of neutral, but he seems like he would walk directly and confidently because he is, you know, King of Wakanda, and he knows where he's going. He knows who he is. He's strong and confident, and I think that he would be a direct but not heavy or a light walker. You know what I mean? All right, so now let's talk about blocking. Blocking has to do with how the actors use the stage. And there are different directions that we can use for like a director to tell the actors how to, where to stand when they are acting their parts. So I'll go ahead and put a thing up for you to see, a chart. So you can see that there are different parts of the stage. You have stage right, and that would be the actor's right. You have stage left, which is the actor's left. You have center stage, which is the middle of the stage. You have upstage, which is away from the audience. And then you have downstage, which is towards the audience. And you can see the audience marked there. There's also backstage. And so someone who is delivering a line from downstage is going to look a lot different than someone who is standing upstage. Someone who's standing upstage is probably going to be kind of out of the way a little bit. Maybe they're not trying to make as big of a point, but someone who is standing downstage and delivering their speech or their monologue, they're talking to the audience. They are in the middle. They're in the center of attention. So that also makes a difference in how a story is told. If you are walking across the stage and walking and talking at the same time, it kind of simulates someone who is in thought. They're thinking and talking at the same time, right? It's kind of like your legs are moving, and it kind of it's like your brain is still moving too. Someone who's like pacing back and forth. So the reason why upstage is upstage and downstage is downstage is because, and I'll show you right here, back in the day, stages used to be slanted. Now, I'm sure you've been to at least a movie theater or a concert, or maybe a play or something like that, and in the theater, you know that the audience is slanted, so the people in the back are up, and the people who are in the front are angled down. They're at the bottom, I guess, of the aisle. And before, the stage used to be angled. So upstage was up. So upstage was like angled back, and that was so that the audience could see everyone that was on stage. So anyone who, the audience was flat, and then it was like this on the stage. So anyone who's back here would still be able to see who is up here because the stage was angled, but then they flipped it, they reversed it, which if you think about it, makes a lot more sense now, right? Because the actors having to walk up and down the stage is like exercising all the time, and they're already, under hot lights, and so it's easier just to have the audience the way that they are now. So that is blocking. So if we were in class, we would play this activity, and I'm going to describe it now, and we can play this right now too, and it's called Directors Coming. So you would all stand on stage, and the leader would be in the audience, or another student would be in the audience, and it's kind of like Simon Says, so whatever I say, you're going to do. So let's act like I am the audience at this computer and you are on stage wherever you're at right now, whichever room you're at right now. So I will go ahead and give you a stage direction, and I will say stage left, stage right, center stage, and you'll go there. So let's go ahead and do that. Ready? And center stage. Okay, now stage right. Okay, now stage left. Now upstage. Okay, now I'm going to combine the two, and I'm going to say upstage right. So where would you be standing if you were upstage right? You would be upstage and on the right side. Okay, now downstage left. Good job. Now, when I give you these directions, you're also going to do them. So if I say director's coming, you're going to stand with your hands out in front of them, in front of you, as if you're holding a script. It's kind of like director's on its way. Like, hurry up, act like you're working. So director's coming, go like this. If I say Shakespeare, then you stand in a dramatic pose and you say to be or not to be. That is the question. So you would stand there and then do that. So to be or not to be, that is the question. And if I say curtain speech, then you would fold your hands in front of you and say, please turn off all of your cell phones. That's a thing that the director does before, or the stage manager does before the play starts. They come out and they do this speech, and they say, please turn off your cell phones before the play starts so that it's not a distraction to the actors, blah, blah, blah. So curtain speech, you go, please turn off your cell phones. If I say director's coming, act like you're reading a script. If I say Shakespeare, then you go, to be or not to be, very dramatically. And then I'll give you the stage directions. Okay, ready? And curtain speech. Stage left. Upstage. Director's coming. Downstage right. Shakespeare. Director's coming. Curtain speech. Center stage. Center stage left. And downstage. All right, good job. Give yourselves a round of applause. So that's blocking. And so if you're working with a director, if you are acting in a play, then you would probably write down in your notes on the script, like where you're going to stand when you say certain things, where you're going to stand if someone else is saying something. The blocking definitely makes a big difference in a story. So that's blocking. The next instruction is going to be about world theater, mask, and tech and design. So on the count of 3, say drama class. 1, 2, 3, drama class.